Hello everyone, so it's finally time to pass another set of various events and championships from Gran Turismo 4, but today it's Japan Sports Championship, Sports Car Championship and Japan GT. So for this particular event I had a nice selection of various fast cars. Also acquired some nice vehicles from all these special condition events, so I might as well check out, for example, Mazda Tenza. Um, yes, but I think that Mitsubishi Lancer Revolution 7 GTA version would be a better choice. So yeah. Right now I have to take care of various international events. So let's start with Japanese Hall. I have Japanese Championship, All Japan GT, Japanese Classics, and Japanese Compacts. So first championship in this episode is Japanese Championship from Gran Turismo 3. So basically Japan Sports Car Cup. I have 5 races: Old Fuji, Tsukuba, Tokiora 246, Twinning Motegi and Suzuka Circuit. So a perfect list of various Japanese racetracks for these events. For this particular championship I need sport tires, and I also have a nice set of opponents. I mean, sports cars: Nissan Skyline, Subaru Impreza, Mazda RX-8, another Mitsubishi Lancer or something like that. A nice selection of various vehicles. Proper, I might say, JDM vibe. Anything else is just fine. Nitrous oxide is modified enough. So let's begin. 5 laps on good old Fuji Speedway from the 90s. So as if nothing happens, I can just drive fast, behind the wheel of a tuned car, equipped also with nitrous oxide, and just push myself far away from my opponent. Alright, so here it is. Second chicane. And I can already see that opponents are not, I might say, they do not have factory-made cars fully. Because I got fully tuned, maybe fully tuned Mitsubishi Lancer GTA with that specific transmission, but still my opponents are not that far away from me, or maybe it's because of a rubber band. Well, at least this particular Mitsubishi Lancer can drive very fast, 270 kilometers per hour. That's a nice result of applying better turbo kit and some other minor upgrades for earlier events. That's just perfect. right, so it might look like this particular championship would not be a very difficult one, mostly because of the fact that not only I have proper upgrades, but also because of the fact that while my driving style is not really advanced, because I just don't care, I just drive fast and hope for the fact that all these upgrades and such would let me finish this World Championship and then move on to All Japan GT Championship, because I need not only some money but some progress. After a few long breaks, I can finally, let's be honest, check out anything that is going on in here. Alright, let's see how fast I can go this time. Not so bad. And I finally got away from my opponents. Here is just one car, obviously on the NSX. In Gran Turismo 3 and Gran Turismo 4, on the NSX is the fastest car from Japan Sports class. So yeah. And here it is, the final lap. And I got over 22 seconds of lead distance. They have, Honda NS6 have 22 seconds gap to me right now, or possibly over 24 seconds. Let's call it a day. This first race is over. Almost. But I know I'll win. Alright, so used all the nitrous oxide, and I also won the first race in this whole championship. Got some nice results. Mitsubishi Lancer, Honda NSX, then Subaru Impreza, Mazda RX-7, Nissan Skyline, that's strange. And the last position, not a surprise for me, Mazda RX-8, with only 250 brake horsepower instead of 280, or when it comes to Nissan Skyline, I remember somewhere around 320, 330. But I won 7,500 credits, you know. So, second race is a long battle on the popular Tsukuba circuit. 10 laps. And it should be interesting because while this particular circuit is much shorter than Fuji Speedway, Suzuka, Motegi, even Highland and other old Japanese circuits, Tsukuba circuit is definitely not the easiest racetrack in Japan. Yeah, that's the price of acquiring a four-wheel drivetrain. And also I have sports tires instead of racing ones, so the grip, oversteer and understeer are completely different. But as you can see, I could actually have a bit of a challenge because it took some time to overtake all my opponents. Right now, I only need to focus on driving fast in order to win, which would not be a very difficult task on this circuit. After Tsukuba circuit, I might need to take precautions just to be sure, because Tokyo Route 246, for example, is a city circuit. No chances of cutting corners, and nothing like that would happen actually. Okay, so as it turns out, this circuit is also an easy one. Almost 10 seconds a gap for Nissan Skyline for a change. Strangely enough, on Tsukuba circuit, Nissan Skyline seems a bit faster than Honda NSX. That's interesting. Alright, almost half of this race is done, and I almost had a chance to actually get a lap time under 60 seconds. Almost like this one particular movie, done in 60 seconds or something. Alright, that seems like an interesting race right now. I got far away from my opponents and actually got a chance to get going fast enough to finish a lap under 60 seconds. And I actually got far away also from my opponents, somewhere around 25 seconds gap. The second racer half to me, oh, almost 28 seconds, and I also saw that someone lost grip on that final section. That's interesting, because that proves to me that in Gran Turismo 4 opponents can also make mistakes. Maybe not like in Gran Turismo 3, but still. I still remember this Shelby Cobra during American Championship or Seattle 100 miles entrance race, if I'm not mistaken. That was good. Alright, so I am getting closer to finish this particular race. And I even thought about the fact that there is a possibility to overtake my opponents, but no such luck on this particular event. So after Fuji Speedway and Tsukuba Circuit, I still have few, I might say, a bit more difficult challenges, because Tokyo Road 246, the city circuit, then Motegi, not many chances to cut corners and such. Eventually also Suzuka circuit have that difficult chicane that I can actually use for cheesing this particular challenge, but yeah. It looks like I might win this particular championship without any problems whatsoever. So it's done. 45 points. And this time Nissan Skyline was in second place, then Honda M6, Subaru Impreza and two Mazdas. That's just perfect, because I actually had a chance to not only win this particular race without any problems, but I might say that opponents during this particular championship can actually shuffle between various positions. Alright, so the second race is over. Now it's time to go to Tokyo. 5 laps on reversed Tokyo Route 246. This is gonna be an interesting show, because it is a fast city circuit, but also have complex corners and some difficult, tricky sections here and there. Might as well just use nitros and all these tune-ups I bought in order to just take the first place and run away from anybody else. No big deal. Alright, so it looks like this particular race can be a bit more, I can't say difficult, but I remember that tuned cars could not actually have over 2 minutes of a lap time at Tokyo Road 246, so I guess I can drive fast, obviously, but with these sports tires, driving physics are a bit different. I've been playing Gran Turismo 3 these last few weeks in order to make a review. It was not the best one I made, I can agree to that, but at least it was good enough for me. And I also had a lot of fun comparing after a long time again driving physics between Gran Turismo 3 and Gran Turismo Concept, and then later Gran Turismo 4, because driving physics in Gran Turismo 4 are also different. That's strange. Gran Turismo 4 Prologue even had own driving physics, if I remember correctly. European Gran Turismo 4 Prologue, despite few changes with driving physics, I remember the cars were a bit better than Gran Turismo 4. Alright, now it's much better. Not only I run away from all my opponents, but I also had a chance to get a better lap time. Alright, so I got far away from my opponents right now. I mean, I thought that this particular race would be a bit more difficult, but I haven't got any major crashes and did not perform any big mistakes, like spinning out. So that's perfect. And it looks actually like I might have over 22? 22 and a half seconds of lead distance, as I always said many years ago. Just perfect. And here is the final lap again. Over 25 seconds. Perfect. Easy win. After this, I can just finish all the other races I have in this particular championship. And it's done. Another race from Japanese Championship is finished. This time, the second best driver was the one behind the wheel of Subaru Impreza. That's just great, because right now it might look like Subaru Impreza just got third place in ranking, and then NSX still keeps the second place. And strangely enough, two Mazda cars are the worst. The worst cars are the Mazdas. Just great. So, challenge in Tokyo Road 246 is done. So let's get to the other circuit. Right now it's Twin Ring Motegi road course. A long and very difficult race on one of my, I might say, most favorite Japanese circuits. Might as well say that my favorite Japanese circuit is also Suzuka, judging by the fact how many specific games had this circuit and how many of these games were actually tested out on that particular racetrack. But yeah, Suzuka, Motegi, Tsukuba, many of these Japanese circuits even, but forgotten ones like Mine Circuit or even Tokachi Speedway are actually great for testing out various cars, not only Japanese ones. As always, I am playing a little dirty, but I do not care about that because all I care about is catching up to the driver on the first place, and I am guessing, yes, it is a Nissan Skyline. I have to watch out on this particular section because obviously Gran Turismo 4 driving physics are different than in Gran Turismo 3 and the car is prone to lose control after hard braking. Yeah, in this game, weight shift during braking makes these cars not lock the wheels during hard braking. Instead, you just lose grip. Just perfect. I like this. I like this idea. So yeah, first lap on Touring Motegi is almost done. And it looks like Mitsubishi Lancer does not have too many problems with that particular racetrack. Mostly because of the fact that I got also used to this driving physics in Gran Turismo 4. Alright. I got far away from my opponents, and looking at the minimap, I can honestly say that they just don't care about winning anymore, in my opinion. It's almost lap number 2, the final section of lap number 2, and Honda NS6 have 15 seconds gap to me. That's just great. However, I can also say that after Motegi circuit, the only other race I might need to take part in this particular event, I mean championship, is Suzuka circuit, 4 to 5 laps if I paid attention enough to all of this. So yeah, after this particular championship, I still have all Japan GT to win. Oh, that's interesting. Over 20 seconds gap right now. And I am driving faster and faster. That's great, because thanks to that I can just pay attention to the fact that I have only one final lap left, and after all of this only Suzuka circuit is the last circuit to win in this championship. Alright, it's done. Fourth race from Japanese Championship is done, and strangely enough, even Mazda RX-8 had a chance to be a better car for this particular circuit, because Honda NSX kept the second place, while Nissan Skyline ended up last in Motegi. Still, no chances for Mazda X8 to win, with Mazda X7 and Nissan Skyline is still on the 4th place. Subaru Impreza got the 3rd one. Great. Another 7,500, 7,500 to be precise. And yeah, just one final race. 4 laps on Suzuka circuit. That's perfect. That's perfect because this particular race would be a bit more difficult for me. Not because of opponents, obviously, but because of how this circuit was made. Elevation changes, some difficult hairpins corners like the spoon corner, 130R, etc. Plus those slaloms. So yeah, I can just overtake all my opponents and keep myself focused in order to win this race without any problems, any crashes and such, like almost over here. I'll see about that. Alright, so this particular challenge is, I can say, a bit more difficult, but I see right now that opponents try a bit more to catch up to me, because right now I have only 9 seconds of lead distance from, strangely enough, from Subaru Impreza. That's good. That's a good sign. As it turns out, Subaru Impreza is still on second place and have only 17 seconds gap on Suzuka circuit, one of the longest Japanese circuits available at least in many various racing games. But still, that is a good result for other racers. Alright, so Honda NSX got second place, no surprise for me right now, but also 24 seconds gap, and I have the final lap right now. I started it, so I am this close to finish this whole championship and go to All Japan GT League. Okay, this whole championship is finished. And right now, strangely enough, Subaru Impreza got the 5th place at the end, and Mazda RX-7 got the 3rd. That's That's truly astonishing, because the final results are that Subaru Impreza kept the third place and Mazda RX-7 had a chance to overtake in the finals Nissan Skyline, and Mazda RX-8 obviously went last. Such a shame. Okay, time to take the cash. 7,500 for each race and 35,000 for finishing this championship on the first place. But also, I acquire an interesting prize car after finishing this championship. The prize car is Nissan for Lady Z Concept LM race car. This iconic vehicle from Gran Turismo concept that was supposed to be some kind of a next generation of iconic Nissan for Lady Z GTS from the late 90s. And I also unlocked possibly the last circuit for arcade mode, because 351 days or maybe even 360 days I was the finish the list of all these tracks. So I am taking this Nissan for Lady Z because I don't care. I might as well get another vehicle, but I don't think I have anything else than few cars I acquired from, for example, this Gran Turismo World Championship and driving missions. So Pagani Zonda, nope, no chances. I need to acquire some minor upgrades, like a better set of tires, hard ones, super hard ones for endurance races, because I might actually put them to good use, and possibly, possibly turbine kit, because I don't want to waste my time. I just need to, if I actually can tune up my car and run far away from my opponents, I might actually abuse this rule, or the fact that there are no violations during many championships. So obviously I need to change oil at the car maintenance shop, and after all of this I can just move fast to pass all, if I'm not mistaken, 10 championship races in All Japan GT Championship. Alright, so Japanese hull, and let's see, 5 laps at Tokyo, 12 at Suzuka. A nice set of various trucks, and also I can acquire 15,000 for each race and 100,000 for completing this championship. So the first race is Tokyo Route 246, 5 laps, and I also have an interesting set of various cars, because I am driving a Nissan for Lady Z and my opponents are driving behind the wheel of various race versions of Nissan Skyline, Honda NSX, which means this particular championship might be a bit more interesting, at least for me. So everything is adjusted. Racing super hard tires. Might actually make a few changes here and there, because this is a very long championship. Alright, so 5 laps in Tokyo. Yeah, that's the championship jingle. So now I can drive fast, overtake all these opponents, and after all of this I might just focus on driving fast and win all these races without any problems. Let's see. Luckily I kept driving aids because I cannot lose grip behind the wheel of that particular car. But I can also see that while I have fully tuned Nissan for the ZLM edition, here is a chance that I might actually not run far away from my opponents as fast as during the last championship, the Japanese sports championship. So yeah, this particular race should not be too much difficult, at least for me, so here's hoping that I might not make a big mistake. Alright, the best thing about this particular car is not only the fact that I bought all these tuning parts, but I also have a nice lead distance from all my opponents, and I also have a lot of fun driving fast, not caring about anything. Can just focus on driving fast car in Tokyo. And another lap time is again faster. That was a good choice to actually test out this particular price car. Oh, I actually got a chance to drive over 320 kilometers per hour. I hope no one from Midnight Club, the Wangan Racers, haven't saw me yet. Right, so the first race is finished. 5 laps on Tokyo Route 246. And the final results are also interesting because while Honda Takata Dome NS6 got the 4th place, just like in Gran Turismo 3, Honda Arta NS6 again proves to be the worst all Japan GT car for opponents. Might also see about that because the second race is set on Suzuka circuit, the East version. That's why I need medium tires, because let's keep, I might say, let's keep the car more grippy, but actually when medium tires get heated faster, I might actually have some more grip, or maybe even understeer. I do not really care about that, as long as the car is driving on the right path. So obviously 12 laps around Suzuka Circuit East version, the shorter one. Only the slalom over here, and as fast as I can I need to drive through that straight road. Not so bad idea. It looks like I am again the fastest racer in Gran Turismo 4. My opponents can't even catch up to me properly, with or without rubber banding. And the gap is getting bigger and bigger. Over 20 seconds, so here is a chance that I might actually overtake at least one, maybe two, maybe even all of my opponents on this particular circuit. I might like to try it out. As I thought earlier, I actually have a chance to overtake all of my opponents right now even, so let's see. The front tires are almost getting done, but I can actually overtake all the other drivers. Strangely enough, on the R10-6 is at the first place. What is going on over here? I don't think that anyone actually, perhaps I missed it, got lost attention, but it looks like right now Honda Takata Dome NSX is at the second place and Art NSX is strangely enough third. Maybe because of the fact that GT5 editions of Honda NSXs do not have turbo kits. Those cars are naturally aspirated, something like that. Alright, only 2 laps left. I used almost a whole bottle of nitrous oxide. And also my front tires are actually done. As you can see right now, I actually have a bit of a problem in order to drive fast, so I don't think this idea with medium front tires and super hard rear tires in this particular vehicle are a good idea. Because as it looks out over here, I think that this particular setup for a car with front engine rear wheel drive train was actually a curse, and I actually need to abandon this idea. I have 1 lap of lead distance, actually had a chance to overtake twice all the other drivers during this 12 laps race. So yeah, I just have to finish this particular challenge. More of a challenge because of burning front tires right now. And after all of this, I can just move on to another circuit. Let's see. Strangely enough, 2 Hondas got places at the podium. And let's see, the results right now are a bit different because Honda Takata Dome actually overtook Nixon Turismo and R10SX got the 5th place yet, because obviously R10SX is not the best car for artificial intelligence, both in Gran Turismo 3 and Gran Turismo 4. So yeah. Let's see, the third race in this particular championship is another interesting place because it is actually a downtown area of Seoul. I need to change those tires and also adjust the ballast. So 10 laps around the downtown area of Seoul, and strangely enough I have a feeling that this particular circuit is seems sometimes a bit more rushed, like it was a city circuit that was made just few months before finishing the game. But I do not really care about that much, because while it's still you know, compressed PlayStation 2 quality of various buildings and textures, Seoul Central still looks good enough. And also it is a nice circuit for driving fast and proper cornering on these difficult 90-degree corners. So yeah, I can just focus on driving fast, running away from my opponents, and maybe I will have a chance also on this particular circuit to overtake twice all of my opponents. I'll have to see about this. Alright, so this particular race took some time, but I finally had a chance to drive fast, focus on not crashing that much here and there. But yeah, right now I have a chance to overtake all of my opponents. And that's a good thing. Let's see. Here's the one. Second one is done. 3 to go. Luckily I also not only have a fast car, but with these settings I put for this particular circuit, I mean, super hard tires are pretty good, but if this car tends to be a bit more tends to have understeer or oversteer, I just need to adjust the weight of this car properly. Strangely enough, R10SX is still on this particular circuit on the third place, so Takata Domen 6 is probably at the second place. That's interesting. Lap number 9, 46 seconds gap. He's not gonna catch up to me. I might as well just overtake him before this particular race ends. I am taking my prize and going to another location for another challenge, or maybe not truly a challenge, just a fast driving session. Maybe a challenge because I can't crash that often into various obstacles, walls, etc. So I cannot, for example, lose speed. Alright. Yeah, I thought it's gonna happen one way or another. But I did it. One lap. Done. And another race is over. Again, strangely enough, for Honda R10SX kept the third place and actually had the chance to overtake in championship results right now two Nissans. And Honda Takata Domen 6 is on second place without many reasons to not keep it that way. So I am taking another 15,000 credits and I'm moving on to the next location. After Seoul Central, Suzuka Circuit East and Tokyo, it's time for good old Fuji Speedway. 6 laps. That's interesting also considering the fact that this is the 90s edition of Fuji Speedway, and for example we have the Takata Domen 6, Xanavinismo GTR, and also Motul Pitchwork. Yeah, again, polyphony logic strikes again. I always had that feeling when it comes to old Fuji Speedway, which was closed in, if I'm not mistaken, September or October of 2003. Alright, so let's see how fast this particular car can drive on Fuji Speedway. Almost 240. Not bad. And I also got 10 seconds of lead distance from Honda Takata Dome and SX. Perfect. Just perfect. This time it was a bit different. 350 kilometers per hour. And I also got far away from my rivals. Over 30 seconds. Whoa. That's just great. here comes the final lap. 344 kilometers per hour. And strangely enough, Nissan Motul Pitworks is keeping the second place right now. Still, I think that while there, for example, on this particular circuit, there are no chances to overtake twice my opponent, I can still say that I am driving fast enough. Well, yeah, 51-second gap. That's just great. Now it's almost 54 seconds, so I still have some nitrous in my car, so let's see. Let's see how all of this works out. Somewhere around 56 seconds gap, no chances of catching me now. And strangely enough, again, Honda Arta NSX got the last place, Honda Takata Dome NSX got the third place, and all other Nissans right now have a chance to actually keep better places. Not for long, but who cares? I don't care about that because I am driving far away from my opponents, and I see no problem with this. So 15,000 credits and I am going to the next place, the next circuit. So I got Tokyo Route 246, the eastern version of Suzuka Circuit, Seoul Central, and Fuji Speedway from the 90s. The fifth track is a bit an interesting one. Good old memories from R Racing Evolution, because this is the famous, right now sadly demolished, but those were the times, Twinning Motegi Oval. Alright, 12 laps. Obviously this the tarmac on this particular circuit is a bit different. Could say a bit more slippery, but it's not the case. Cars just have a tendency in Gran Turismo 4 to just burn tires while driving fast, but I have never saw that cars on this particular super speedway track are actually behaving, for example, like on wet version of Special Stage Route 5 from Gran Turismo 3 or Tsukuba Circuit from Gran Turismo 4. Seems like I have some minor glitches, graphical glitches, because this is the old emulator, and obviously flares and other graphical effects, special effects, are working right now. That's the reason also why I haven't, for example, for a long time checked my good old PlayStation 2. It was done, and I actually have to buy a game capture in order to properly win any new games, because if I want to check out Gran Turismo 4, this particular save on my new PlayStation 2, once I actually get cash to buy it, I might also need maybe new memory cards and possibly even Shark export. So yeah, oval circuit and Japanese fast cars, that's just great. Almost like in R Racing Evolution. it seems okay. Again, that the tables have not been turned on this particular oval racetrack. I can still overtake probably all of my opponents, but I still need to catch up to 3 other drivers. Strangely enough, Turismo is at 2nd place. I'm not sure about the other. I don't know. I don't think that they might actually go to a pit stop, so let's see. Will they actually overtake these drivers twice? Let's use the nitrous. Alright, and it's done. Also, I got the final lap, again, 1 lap of lead distance. No pressure, no problems yet, because I don't think I might actually lose a grip on these sections. So yeah, that's great. And it's done. Pure and simple. Again, R26 got the last place, while Takata Dome, strangely enough, had the 4th place. Seems like newer Nissan GT models actually got better adjustments, at least in my opinion. So let's see, 15,000 for me. And after this, I'm past the first half of this championship. 5 races are finished. Right now I have yet 5 other circuits to win. And the 6th one is... damn. That might be an interesting challenge. 7 laps on Laguna Seca. Back then sponsored by Mazda. Just great. 7 laps on Laguna Seca, a very difficult Californian racetrack. Famous not only because of Andretti hairpin and this steep section, but also the iconic corkscrew. Alright, so let's overtake all opponents. Nice and easy. Yeah, I also need to remember that Laguna Seca in Gran Turismo 4 is completely different than in Gran Turismo 3, let alone different than in Gran Turismo 2. That's interesting. Yeah. That's what I always say, or think, when I have to think about new video or something to do. Yeah. Like, that might actually be a motto for some people. What I can do today? Do I have enough money to buy a house? Or something else. I don't know. Okay, so I got far away from my opponents. Can't say for sure I might actually have a chance to overtake all of them here, because I have 7 laps after all. But what I do know is that this particular race would not be so difficult, so if I can focus on driving steadily, not crashing into anything or actually touching the sand on this particular circuit, it is a bad idea. Then I am sure I might win. No reasons to enter a pit stop, despite having tire wear in this particular championship. A small mistake over here, but I am still in the first place, so yeah, that's just great. Alright, so here is the final lap. No chances of overtaking my opponents again, but I got a nice lead distance from them. The second racer have almost 52 seconds. So yeah, a nice result. Okay, so race number 8, 6, sixth race. I lost a count because this is a long championship and I actually focused more on driving fast and keeping myself on the track. But yeah, race number 6 is done. And strangely enough, Nissan Pennzoil got the last place. Not yet. It hadn't yet took the position from Honda Arte NSX despite these big fails. Well, right now it is a good chance for few of these drivers because right now I have even bigger challenge. 9 laps through, if I'm not mistaken, Simsha Tsui area in Hong Kong. Not too far, that's also what I probably said in one episode. The view that you have as a nice Easter egg, I probably said it earlier. That view that you can see right now, it is Aberdeen and North Point, if I'm not mistaken. You might actually know what game had these particular areas available. So yeah, this is Sim Shatsui, not too far from this place. So yeah, this is another very difficult city circuit, but strangely enough, it is an iconic one. Can't say for sure it might actually be modeled for newer Gran Turismo games because over the years Hong Kong, just like Seattle, got some elevation changes here and there, and also, let's be honest, Seattle circuit is a completely different town, city. After these 20 years, this old viaduct got demolished, and even Alaskan Way looks much more different. In Hong Kong it's the same case because this particular section near start finish line is actually also rebuilt. Also this section over here after the first hairpin is normally blocked. Yeah. So if someone does not think that this track is real, yes, this particular area is normally closed. I must say I was a bit surprised because I thought for for these few minutes that I might actually catch up to my opponents. But despite having 9 laps, I can't actually gain up enough speed to overtake all of these drivers, the other racers. So yeah, the second best racer have somewhere around 40 seconds gap to me, and I am actually still driving fast enough for this particular city circuit, so almost 40 seconds gap. That's just terrific. I like this. So yeah, it's not that far from the finish line. I might just take it from there. Even while using nitrous oxide and driving fast on this particular section before this particular hairpin, I could not actually catch up to my opponents, but it doesn't change the fact that I was still fast on this circuit, and I am much closer to finish this 7th race and move on to the other 3 circuits that are left. One is if I'm not mistaken, there is Motegi, Suzuka, and also another race circuit that I forgot. Tsukuba. I don't remember right now, but I finished this particular race. Hong Kong is done. So there is a possibility that one of these tracks might actually be a fictional one. I mean the GT original circuit. For example, that might actually be a good idea. Besides of Motegi, for example, or Suzuka or anything else that is left right now. So yeah, race number 7 is done, 3 to go. And race number 8 takes place on Twinning Motegi road course, 6 laps. 6 laps, a very long, sometimes difficult racetrack. That's interesting. I might actually have a lot of fun over here, and I ain't gonna miss it. Miss the chance to actually drive fast, maybe even, I don't know, test out this car, get over 300 kilometers per hour on these long straight roads. These. I am still forgetting. So yeah, let's see. My bad. That wasn't planned. Alright. R10SX, first place. And Honda Takata Dome NSX. I'm gonna overtake this car. That's a fast one. But it looks that I am faster. A bit more, but still faster. Might actually overtake them all later. Maybe. Let's see how fast I can go through this road. Almost 300 kilometers per hour, not so bad. Not bad at all. I am driving fast enough. And it seems like after Motegi I still have Suzuka circuit and possibly yet another longer, shorter version. No, I forgot about one circuit right now. because right now I have Motegi, but I also forgot that there is, for example, new Fuji Speedway. Yeah, that's an interesting thing because in Gran Turismo 4 I completely forgot because of various things, including late GT concept demos and such, that while I had a chance to twice win twice on older version of Fuji Speedway, I have right now Motegi Circuit, new Fuji Speedway from 2005. That was actually almost done by the time Gran Turismo 4 was published. That's strange, yeah, I know. You have two versions of the track that was completely changed in 1.5 year, because if I'm not mistaken, Motegi, Fuji Speedway and Suzuka, yes, these are the circuits that I still have in this particular championship, but while, for example, Fuji Speedway was officially closed by the time, for example, few early Gran Turismo 4 demos and even Gran Turismo 4 Prologue came out in Asia, Fuji Speedway 2005 was actually remodeled before Gran Turismo 4 was published, so you have two completely different editions of Fuji Speedway. I am always amazed by the fact that they actually thought about that. So you can actually drive a car from 2004 or 2005, because there are, in this game there are a few newer cars, the new ones for this particular game, and you can actually drive them on a circuit that by then actually didn't exist anymore. Sounds almost like a time paradox. Alright. Race number 8 is done. Touring Motegi road course is finished. Took me over 10 minutes. That's great. And strangely enough, we see the results. I completely forgot that right now, while Honda Takata Dome still kept the second place, R1006 do not have a chance to actually change the position. It's in. It's on. Seems like Turismo is the worst car in this particular game. But R1006 is still not a great one. So right now I have a race number 9, Fuji Speedway 2005 GT edition, so without that specific one chicane. But still, in one particular championship we have both the old version of Fuji Speedway that was closed in late 2003, and we have, let's be honest, almost finished Fuji Speedway 2005, which sadly back then was still under construction and still had some minor changes here and there to consider, because this particular racetrack was not open, if I'm not mistaken, until early 2005, possibly February or March. However, I might be wrong. Nonetheless, it is actually an interesting racetrack, also considering the other versions of Fuji Speedway available in Gran Turismo 4. Alright, as always, if it's Fuji Speedway, I need to check the speed I can get over here. Over 300 kilometers per hour. Somewhere around 340 kilometers per hour is not a bad result, not bad at all. And also I again had 10 seconds of lead distance, so that's great. So right now I just need to drive fast and not make any mistakes, and I am done. Far away from my rivals again. Alright, so only 3 laps to finish this whole race, and after this I can just take part in one final challenge today. The full Suzuka circuit. I got far away from my opponents, no chances to overtake them twice here, but also no chances to actually let them overtake me, even if I make a 1 or 2 big mistakes, spin out tires or something else. Almost 35-second gap to catch up. Terrific. Okay, so I have only one final race left, and again Honda Takata Dome NSX kept the 2nd place, Honda Arta NSX got the 5th place. So right now the only chances are that, for example, Xanavinismo and Moto Pitwork that can actually have a bit of a problem on Suzuka circuit. but I do not believe in that. 15,000 credits again for me, and it's time for the final race. A big challenge on Suzuka circuit, 5 laps. It's all or nothing right now. I mean, for me it's all because I can't lose. Even if I decide to surrender and just don't finish this particular race. So yeah, I have 5 laps. And I just have to overtake all my opponents and then just drive to the finish line. No big deal. So I got almost 17 seconds of lead distance and a nice lap time. Only 3 laps to finish this particular race. And I actually still got not only the first place, but the tires, super hard tires, actually worked pretty well through this whole championship. So yeah, seems like this particular championship with the proper car is really easy. After Gran Turismo World Championship, I don't think I might actually have another very difficult championship. Maybe besides of possibly Gran Turismo All Stars Championship and obviously Formula GT World Championship. But I still have a lot of time to actually pass this set of events, the extreme ones, or something. Alright, finally. It took me a long time. Haven't got sadly too much to say today, but still, that was fun. And I won not only Japanese Championship, Sports Car Cup as I like to call it, but also All Japan GT500 Championship. And strangely enough, while Honda Takata Dome NSX kept the second place through the whole championship, Arta NSX got the fifth place, and Turismo got the last one. Couldn't bother, could not bother less about the other cars. Got my cash, 15,000 for this particular race and 100,000 for completing the championship. Damn, that was a long session. And I also acquired a perfect price car. Nissan Moto Pitwork Z GGTC from 2004, one of the newest available in Gran Turismo 4. So this marks the end of this particular part of playthrough, so I hope you still somehow enjoyed it today. Next ones would be better, probably. So stay tuned for our next video and have a nice day. I'm out.